Hello, everybody. Happy Halloween. Today is Saturday, October 31st, and it's Halloween. Yay! I'm just not into it this year. I feel so weird because, I don't know, this year, 2020 has just been such a bleh year that my favorite holiday doesn't even get me all that excited this year. That's kind of sad. Anyway, I've got a small book haul from yesterday. I didn't even think about doing a video on it until just now, so it's a very small one. There's only 5 books. Should have done this when I did my book mail yesterday. Would have been a longer, more interesting video maybe. Anyway, these came from the little free library there in Syracuse, Ohio. I don't know, that's really all I can say about them. I got a couple thrillers, a couple romances, and one I'm not entirely sure where it falls in the realm of genres. But I have the 2 thrillers are both by Michael Connelly. We have Echo Park. In 1993, Marie Gesto disappeared after walking out of a supermarket. Harry Bosch worked the case but couldn't crack it, and the 22-year-old was never found. Now, more than a decade later, with the Gesto file still on his desk, Bosch gets a call from the district attorney. A man accused of 2 heinous murders is willing to come clean about several others, including the killing of Marie Gesto. Taking the confession of the man he has sought and hated for 13 years is bad enough. Discovering that he missed a clue back in 1993 that could have stopped 9 other murders may just be the straw that breaks Harry Bosch. So, I don't know where this falls in this series, but obviously it's pretty far in there if it's, the one that breaks him. This one is called The Closers. It's also a Harry Bosch novel. He walked away from the job 3 years ago, but Harry Bosch cannot resist the call to join the elite Open Unsolved Unit. His mission: solve murders whose investigations were flawed, stalled, or abandoned due to LA's tide of crime. With some people openly rooting for his failure, Harry catches the case of a teenager dragged off to her death on Oat Mountain and traces the DNA on the murder weapon to a small-time criminal. But something bigger and darker beckons, and Harry must battle to fit all the pieces together. Shaking cages and rattling ghosts, he will push the rules to the limit and expose the kind of truth that shatters lives, ends careers, and keeps the dead whispering in the night. Ooh. That's interesting. I think cold case stuff is interesting. And I've noticed on YouTube, several videos have popped up in my feed recently of decades-long cold cases that have been solved in 2020. So I guess something good's coming out of this shit show of a year, right? Okay, so both of the romance ones are, one's a Harlequin, one's a Silhouette, but they're both Christmas ones. And that's why I picked them up. I don't normally read a lot of this type of romance. They're nice. If you read a lot of heavy stuff, it's nice. It's like a palate cleanser, it's junk food for the brain. This one's called A Season of Miracles. It says, an ex-husband on her doorstep. Devin Grayson thought her estranged husband had died 7 years ago in a fiery plane crash until she saw him on television. And though the stranger she confronted looked and sounded like her Jeff, he had no memories of their shared and troubled past. Still, Devin had to bring the prodigal husband home for the holidays when she learned someone wanted him dead. And soon she was experiencing a Christmas miracle beyond her deepest longings, because a flicker of love still shone in his eyes, and now, without his memories, she was determined to make him stay for love alone. I don't know, if you look like the dude on the cover, might be worth having an amnesiac husband, but let me tell you, I don't want my ex back. Yeah, I was lucky to get out alive. We'll just leave it at that. Okay, this one is called Rancher's Covert Christmas. Oh, was he like a Texas Ranger or something? Romantic suspense, at least. I prefer the romantic suspense ones if I'm going to read this type, or the paranormals. Those are the two that I like the best out of these little cheap romances. Sabotage, Secrets, and Desire. The McCall Adventure Ranch miniseries concludes. Oh, great, it's the end of a miniseries. But generally, with these types of books, the miniseries, the only thing that ties them together is like maybe they're brothers and each brother gets a book or something. Undercover private investigator Erin Palmer is tantalizingly close to discovering who wants to destroy the McCall family. And as she creeps closer to the truth and straight into danger, she's burrowing deep into Zane McCall's heart. For Zane, though, trust is everything. So when he discovers Erin isn't who she seems, can he forgive her before it's too late for them both? Ooh. So she's the undercover one. Huh. Usually it's the cowboy. Why is it every time I start a video? Ugh. Okay, this one is by Audrey Niffenegger. She's the one that wrote The Time Traveler's Wife, which I haven't read yet. I think I have a copy floating around here somewhere. It's probably upstairs in my old room. This one is Her Fearful Symmetry. And it's got a reading group guide included. Ooh, ah. So this probably is what, literary fiction then? I'm going to guess. National bestseller, named a best book of 2009 by the New Yorker, the Washington Post, and the Salt Lake Tribune. Julia and Valentina Poole are 20-year-old sisters with an intense attachment to each other. One morning, the mailman delivers a thick envelope to their house in the suburbs of Chicago. Their English aunt, Elspeth Noblin, has died of cancer and left them her London apartment. There are two conditions for this inheritance: that they live in the flat for a year before they sell it, and that their parents not enter it. Julia and Valentina are twins. So were the girls' Aunt Elspeth and their mother Edie. The girls moved to Elspeth's flat, which borders the vast Highgate Cemetery, where Christina Rossetti, George Eliot, Stella Gibbons, and other luminaries are buried. Julia and Valentina become involved with their living neighbors, Martin, a composer of crossword puzzles who suffers from crippling OCD, and Robert, Elspeth's elusive lover, a scholar of the cemetery. Interesting. They also discover that much is still alive in Highgate, including perhaps their aunt. Now that's even more interesting. I'm curious now. Yeah, I haven't read any of her stuff, but I'm very interested. Oh, too bad there's not a mailbox on here. It mentions a mailman on the back, but I need a cover that has a mailbox on it. Does anybody know any books that have a cover with a mailbox? I know it's a weird request, but I'm doing all these crazy challenges on Goodreads, and one of the tasks is to find a book that has a mailbox or a piece of mail on the cover. I'm not having a whole lot of luck, but I haven't looked terribly hard yet. I figure I've got enough other things that I need to read before I really get to that point. I'm going to, I think, read this one today. Bentley Little's The Influence. I love that there's absolutely nothing on the back. Cool looking cover. I think the butterfly's cool looking. The Influence by Bentley Little. Everything is about to change. When Ross Lowry moves into his cousin's guest house in the small community of Magdalena, Arizona, he expects nothing more than breathing room and a brief respite from his economic woes. But something is not right in the desert. Ooh. After a raucous party on New Year's Eve, the luck of the attendees undergoes an immediate U-turn. The rich and successful suddenly find themselves facing catastrophic failure, while the less well-off are unexpectedly flush with good fortune. This is only the beginning. Soon the citizens of Magdalena are experiencing unnatural desires. Next, their children begin to disappear and freakish creatures emerge from the surrounding wilderness. Well, my child is a freakish creature, so how would that be different? The community is unraveling at a frightening pace, but these are merely the early warning signs of a showdown with a powerful force of darkness that could obliterate the world forever, and only Ross Lowry sees the danger that lurks ahead. That sounds interesting. I've got another one of his books to read as well, which is actually mentioned here on the cover, that he's the Bram Stoker award-winning author of The Haunted. I have The Haunted sitting in my pile from the library. So, yeah, I've got a nice sized stack of stuff from the library I need to read. It's just getting motivated to do it. I've skipped a couple days now. I need to get back into the reading thing, especially if I'm going to do Newbery November starting tomorrow. And I already have my first book chosen. I'm going to read Brown Girl Dreaming, which is poetry by Jacqueline Woodson. Looks like it'll be pretty good. I hope so. Because if I like that, then I can request some of the others by her that are also on the Newbery list. And other than that, I really don't have a whole lot for today. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a gameplay or something later. But at this point, that's all I have for you today. So if you would like to do all the fun YouTube-y things like comment, like, share, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for notifications of when I do upload videos, we'd much appreciate it. And have a happy Halloween. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.